It's a beautiful time to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan right now. Eagles have some major players coming back from the injured reserve list, and it could shape the rest of their season. We've lost a couple of guys, and it's not beautiful, has been a tough season, but getting these guys back really may help us down the stretch. So let's talk about it.
You want Philly food?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Eagles coming back. Let's do it. Bird Gang Nation, Bird Gang family, Philadelphia Eagles family. What's going on, man? It's your boy Joe Castro, a.k.a. Philly Fresco, and it is another episode of Philly the podcast. So today, I cannot go live because, unfortunately, I do have an early meeting at work. So this is what we get. We get a video, but this will be the last video until the game on Monday. We will be going live for the rest of the week. So I hope you guys are ready for that. But today, I want to talk about these injuries, man, and not the injuries, the guys coming back. We still got some guys on injury list. We still got a couple guys on that injured reserve list, but we have some major players coming back. So before we get into all that, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to 1 million K, 1 billion K. So definitely help me out there. I really appreciate it. I always say this, man, but I truly do mean it. I really don't care about the numbers. As long as you guys are interacting, you guys are having fun, that's all that really matters to me. So we're going to hop right into this, man. Look, like I said, I'll start here. The Philadelphia Eagles have had some unlucky injuries this year, right? I was going to say injury luck, but you never have injury luck, right? But it's been very unlucky when it comes to health this year. We've seen a lot of guys go down, come back the next week, go down again, right? You think about Reed Blankenship, Jalen Carter's been out. You can go down the list. Justin Evans obviously has been out. There's been so many guys that have been in and out of this roster. It's been really tough to really see what this team is, at least defensively. Offensively, we've been a little bit luckier. We only really lost Cam Jurgens. We did lose Landon Dickerson for one game. We lost Lane Johnson for one game. We haven't been luckier on offense. I take that back. So it's been tough on both sides of the ball. But now coming out of the bye, I think this bye came at the perfect time because now we got a bunch of guys that are getting healthy at the right time. Even Jalen Hurts said it in his press conference that he felt that the bye came at the perfect time. He's feeling good. Other people are feeling good. So we're going to start with the injury updates that we got from the Philadelphia Eagles, who was a full participant in practice yesterday, who was limited participant, and who was just straight up out. So we'll start with Avonte Maddox and Dallas Goedert, low-hanging fruit. We know that they are not going to be able to play. Dallas Goedert was not put on IR, though, so that is something to keep an eye on. That means to me, I don't know what it means to them, but it means to me that they are going to try and get him back by the Dallas Cowboys game. We have heard that this could be an injury that could last about 4 weeks. That would place him in time for the Dallas Cowboy game. So it seems like they don't want to use IR on him. Obviously, that would open up another spot on the roster so you could bring somebody up or whatever it may be. But maybe they're hoping that this injury goes a little bit quicker than, they even really thought at first. So we would be looking at probably the Dallas Cowboys game as the earliest game that Dallas Goedert comes back. Avonte Maddox, there has been some rumors and some, rumblings that he may be back as soon as the playoffs. Otherwise, he might not be back till next year. We know that he went down early in the year. So we would love to get Avonte Maddox back. I think that everybody sees that we are missing Avonte Maddox. We're missing that guy in the middle of the field, that slot cornerback that can just shut down people. We don't have it right now. Like I said, we've had a lot of injuries, but a guy that we hope, it could be that guy or at least replace Avonte Maddox somewhat, was a full participant at practice. So we'll go through the full participants. Cam Jurgens, probably the biggest one. I'm going to be 100% honest. Cam Jurgens is a huge return. We saw Sua Opeta out there. We saw Tyler Steen out there. Sua Opeta wasn't terrible. Sua Opeta, he played his role. He did well. There was definitely a drop-off when it came to the run game. Tyler Steen, it wasn't great. Tyler Steen wasn't great. I wanted to see a little bit more from Tyler Steen. Had a tough outing his first game. And it was against the Cowboys, who have a very good pass rush. They have a very good defense. So that's a tough, first game to start. So look, it sucked. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be blatantly honest. Tyler Steen did not look that great. So Cam Jurgens coming back should automatically, immediately help that run game, help that pass game. And honestly, I think he probably could have came back against the Cowboys, but they wanted to give him that extra 2 weeks, really 3 weeks if you really look at it, of just rest, right? So Cam Jurgens should be fully ready to go, and just a huge part and a huge return to this offense. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, because we're going against a team that has a very good pass rush, but isn't that great against the run. So he could help us with the run game, and he can definitely help us with the pass game, try and slow down guys like Chris Jones. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what Cam Jurgens can bring to this team. We already know he's a dog, so it's great to have our dog back. Now, next is the guy I was talking about with possibly taking that position for Avonte Maddox. Now, it's not a long-term solution, right? Bradley Roby is definitely not a young pup, but he's definitely an old dog with some tricks in him. So Bradley Roby was a full participant at practice. I've been saying this for a couple weeks, that he did say he was going to come back after the bye. So it looks like he will be coming back after the bye, full participant in practice. Very good news. Again, this defense was all over the place. This defense has been all over the place as far as injuries go, as far as just trying different lineups. We don't really know who is going to start in the defense. Realistically, I don't know if any of the lineups that you saw the first 9 weeks are going to even be in the Super Bowl when we make it there, because we're making it there. But I think that we have a very good chance of beating the Kansas City Chiefs, and Bradley Roby should be a huge part of that. We know that, Patrick Mahomes is a dog. Patrick Mahomes is going to go out there and he's going to put on a show. They have been struggling in the pass game because of the lack of wide receiver options, and they have an amazing tight end. So Bradley Roby helping out on Travis Kelce, and just helping out on some of these shiftier inside receivers. I've been bringing them up. Kadarius Toney, you got Mecole Hardman out there. You got some guys that can definitely make some things happen. Rashee Rice. You got some guys that are shifty, quick, and can definitely get some work out of the slot. So I think that Bradley Roby coming back just adds a little bit of solidarity to that position. You get a guy that knows the ropes. He knows how to play. He's played against Patrick Mahomes prior in his career a couple of times. So he knows Patrick Mahomes. He knows what, this offense wants to do. And hopefully with the time that he's had off, he was able to kind of watch some film on our defense and know what his role is supposed to be in that defense, because I've said this before and I'll say it again. The lack of communication, or miscommunication, if you want to say, has been it's just been hurting us tremendously. So we need to get that better, and I think that having Bradley Roby back will definitely help that. I'm excited to see what he can do. I think the first game that he came out, he looked really good for us, and then we weren't able to really see what he can do beyond that, right? Because he got hurt. So I'm excited to see if he can be a guy that really just glues this team together. We remember picking up Patrick Robinson. Nobody thought he was going to be the glue that he was, but slot cornerback position is a huge spot in the NFL, especially nowadays, right? You look at these offenses, and their idea is to move their wide receivers into positions that they have favorable matchups. If you have 3 very good cornerbacks, which I think adding Bradley Roby you now do, if you have 3 good cornerbacks, it's harder for offenses to say, well, we'll put you in the slot, or we'll put you here, we'll put you there, because you got guys that can kind of cover every area of the field. This allows you also to not have to make a guy like Slay or Bradbury travel with anybody. I do feel comfortable that Bradley Roby can hold his own against Travis Kelce on a play-by-play basis, down by down. Probably not. You don't want to probably have him on him the whole game, but I think that him, Byard, Bradbury, a nice little mixture of that, mix in some of the linebackers over the middle, a nice mixture of all these players, I think definitely can get the job done against probably the best tight end in the league over the past couple of years. So Bradley Roby, welcome back. I am so happy to have you. Now, Grant Calcaterra, this one is probably the least talked about, but I think it's probably pretty impactful. I know a lot of people, obviously we all know, we already talked about Dallas Goedert being out for at least the next 3 or 4 weeks, but who do we have after that? I hear a lot of people talking about Albert O. They want to see what he has, and obviously we got Jack Stoll. If you add Jack Stoll and Grant Calcaterra together, you basically have a Dallas Goedert, right? Maybe a little bit worse, but you have basically the same type of skill set. Jack Stoll is a very, very good blocker, and Grant Calcaterra has very, very high upside as a receiving tight end. Now, Albert O could definitely be thrown into the mix there. You can kind of get all 3 of these guys involved. I would love to see that. But I think Grant Calcaterra coming back from which I believe was a concussion, him coming back, I think that could be huge for the Philadelphia Eagles. He knows this offense. He knows how this team works. He knows Jalen Hurts. He knows his scheme duties, his scheme responsibilities, right? So I think that at least that gives you that continuity of having a guy that's been on this team that can kind of do what he has to do. And then you can kind of slowly add a Albert O into little packages. So I think that's what they'll do. I think that Grant Calcaterra will have a big responsibility against the Chiefs. Maybe not as big as it would be if it was Dallas Goedert, but they're going to ask him to do some things. I've said it before because a lot of people ask, how do you replace Dallas Goedert? You don't replace Dallas Goedert. You try to do something different. And I think what you do is more 12 personnel, have both of those guys out there, have, Jack Stoll out there on running downs, allow him to be a little bit of a pass catcher as well, and utilize guys like Grant Calcaterra as a pass catcher when you want to. You can even kind of line him up in the slot. There's a lot you can do, I think, with a guy like Grant Calcaterra. There's a lot you can do with Albert O. So I see them being kind of similar in what they're going to be asked to do, but it's a huge return, I think, and I think people need to start talking about Grant Calcaterra coming back because I think that is going to be huge for the Philadelphia Eagles over the next 3 weeks. Now, limited participant in practice. This is a guy that, again, I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about him, and I understand it to a certain extent. Has Justin Evans been the best, safety in the league since he's come to the Philadelphia Eagles? No. Has he been, world breaking? No. I get it. But at the end of the day, he has been very solid for us. And I think that a lot of people look over the small things, right? We look at, our players and we want to see the stats. We want to see the sacks. We want to see the interceptions, the PDs, we want to see all this. We want to see the PBUs. We want to see all these stats and rightfully so, I get it. Don't get me wrong. But Justin Evans brings something that the stats don't necessarily show. And that, again, is that communication. He knows what he's supposed to do. He understands, in my opinion, this defense. And when he's out there, I feel like communication is a lot better. So I think that Justin Evans possibly coming back, right? It's still Friday, so we'll see what happens. It doesn't say that he's not going to play. It doesn't say that he is going to play. But if Justin Evans plays Monday, I think that could be huge for the Philadelphia Eagles, even if it's sparingly, right? Even if you're going out there starting with Reed Blankenship and Kevin Byard, if you use Justin Evans as like that third guy, if you want to bring Byard down and let him cover Kelsey, or if you want to bring Byard into the box, let him kind of roam, you can do that, have Justin Evans over top, or vice versa. I think you can really do either one and feel comfortable with it. So Justin Evans, while people aren't, necessarily talking about it, I think that that's a huge return. I think all these are. I really do. Our injury list is probably the smallest I've seen it all year. I'm happy about that. I'm excited about that. I'm getting a little bit sick, so excuse me. But I think that this is huge. This is really big. We've said it all year, we've said it the past couple of weeks. We needed this bye. We needed this bye to get healthy. We needed this bye to get together. They've kept on talking about self-scouting. Nick Sirianni's talked about it. Sean Desai has talked about it. They've talked about self-scouting and learning about your team, what you did well, what you didn't do well. And I think that this bye came at the perfect time because now you're able to kind of go forward, right? Now, one last injury update that I wanted to bring up, which is probably the biggest one. Not probably, it is the biggest one. Jalen Hurts says he is feeling good. He said he's feeling great coming off the bye. Like I said earlier, he did say that he felt it came at the perfect time. And the most important part, no more brace. No more brace for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts will be fully unleashed, it seems. I'm excited. I am so hyped to see what Jalen Hurts can do now that we've seen him grow as a passer. Let's add that to your running capabilities, right? Let's add that to your ability to run out the pocket, to make things happen. Add that. Now, I don't know who's going to be able to stop him. I really don't. He's going out there being one of the best passing quarterbacks in the league. Now he gets his legs back. What is he going to do now? I love it. I think that Jalen Hurts deserves to be MVP, especially depending on what he does over the second half of this season. But I think if you don't have him in your top 2, top 3 as an MVP candidate, it's hard for me to really take you serious. I'm going to be honest with you. He's one of the best players, if not the best player on the best team in the NFL right now. And to me, that equals MVP. So I love that we're getting Jalen Hurts and all of his weapons back. This to me is the biggest thing. I mean, it really is. I said that the injuries were big. All the guys coming back were big. But Jalen Hurts finally possibly being at about 100%, right? Maybe he's still around 80, 90, but definitely better than he was the past couple of weeks. It just unleashes this Eagles offense, and it gives defensive coordinators just another thing to have to worry about. And again, I talked about that pass rush for the Chiefs. I highly doubt that Hurts is going to be stationary for too long with that, pass rush. So he's definitely going to have to make things happen. It's nice to see that he has his legs back to be able to do that. And look, I don't even know if I want to give y'all my score prediction. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I'm very excited about this game. I really do feel like this is time for the Eagles to go out there and prove something, to shut people up, right? Every team that we play, they right before we play them, they're going to smoke y'all. They're going to smoke y'all. Y'all not really that good. Y'all going to get exposed. Then we beat them and, the team wasn't really that good. I don't really know. You still haven't really played anybody. So if we go out there and we whoop on the Chiefs, I don't want to hear nobody's mouth. I really don't. I think it's going to be a great game, but I do think the Eagles can go out there and win. So you guys let me know down in the comments, who do you think is the biggest return from injury? Who do you think is going to give us the biggest boost in play? Other than that, man, if you guys want to continue to support, definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family, share it with a friend. Check out the links below if you are a bettor. I am linked up with Parlay Picks. They will give you up to and Prize Picks. They will give you up to 100% of your deposit when you deposit using my link. And if you use my link for Parlay Picks, they will give you an extra $5 bet, free $5 bet. On us. So definitely go check out those links. But other than that, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's going to be, man. It's Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. Peace!
Yeah. Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast.